Before you buy into the Galaxy Watch 9 Ultra 5G, mega leak, let's slow down in reality, check what's actually likely in 2026 and what's pure wishful thinking. Yes, the buzzword is solid-state battery. Yes, Samsung is investing heavily in next-gen cells. But no, that doesn't automatically mean a wafer-thin watch with week-long battery life and 5G radios crammed inside your wrist. Here's a grounded look at the rumors, what's plausible, what's marketing sugar, and what you should realistically expect from the Galaxy Watch 9 Ultra. First, the name and timing. Samsung's watch naming has already shifted with the arrival of Ultra, and the annual cadence isn't always perfectly linear across numbers. So Galaxy Watch 9 Ultra could simply be a placeholder used by leakers, not a locked name. Expect Samsung to iterate where it makes sense, but don't treat the branding as confirmation of specs or launch timing. If a 2026 window is real, it likely aligns with component readiness, not a magic date when true solid-state suddenly becomes mainstream overnight. Now, solid-state batteries. The leak makes it sound like a done deal for the Watch 9 Ultra. In reality, solid-state is a spectrum. There's full solid-state, ceramic or oxide sulfide electrolytes with lithium metal anodes. Semi-solid or gel polymer hybrids. Marketing sometimes calls these solid-state. An advanced lithium ion with solid-like separators. The version that's truly game-changing high energy density. Non-flammable, fast charge friendly. Long cycle life faces major hurdles. Interfacial resistance, dendrite formation with lithium metal, manufacturing yields at scale, cost per WH, and reliability across temperature swings. For tiny wearables, you also need ultra-compact packaging, robust safety certification, and consistent performance strapped to warm skin 16 hours a day. That's not trivial. If Samsung ships anything by 2026, the most realistic near-term outcome is a hybrid or semi-solid implementation that nudges energy density up and improves safety margins without rewriting physics. Translation: you might see better battery life and better safety, but not a miracle. Let's talk battery life expectations. Multi-day endurance sounds great, but watches burn energy in more places than the battery itself. Always on displays. GPS, LTE, high-frequency heart rate sampling, SpO2, skin temp tracking, and continuous health analytics. Even with a denser cell, the gains can get eaten by new features and brighter screens. A meaningful improvement is possible. Think a solid bump in mixed use hours and fewer top-ups midday, but the charged ones. Forget for a week, fantasy is still a stretch if you're using everything the Ultra class offers. About that 5G in the headline. Be skeptical. 5G on a smartwatch is power-hungry, antenna challenging, and adds heat in a tiny enclosure with limited thermal headroom. Today's cellular watches tap LTE for a reason. If a Galaxy Watch Ultra in 2026 has mobile data, LTE is a sensible, battery-conscious bet. Sub-6 5G might be theoretically possible in the far future, but it's a poor trade-off for endurance, the exact opposite of what people want from a fitness and outdoor-focused wearable. Design promises often gloss over physics. A thinner watch with a bigger battery and tougher materials is a hard triangle to solve. Ruggedness, water resistance, and thermal stability demand structure, gaskets, adhesives, and sometimes thicker glass or sapphire. If Samsung improves energy density, expect the win to go into either a slimmer case at similar battery life or a similarly sized case with longer life, not both extremes at once. More compact and lighter while also lasting dramatically longer is marketing shorthand, not engineering reality. There's also some confusion in the rumor mill about who's actually building what. Samsung Electromechanics, Semco, Samsung SDI, and Samsung Advanced Institute of Technology, SATE, are different arms with different roles. SDI is the battery powerhouse. SEMCO handles components and modules, When leaks toss these names around interchangeably, that's a red flag. The path from lab prototype to mass-produced wearable cell runs through SDI's pilot lines. Supplier qualification, safety standards like UL, IEC 62133-2, and UN 38.3, and painful yield ramping. Mass production by 2026 could mean limited batches for small devices or a marketing-friendly pre-mass ramp, not instant global scale dot. So what's actually plausible for a Galaxy Watch Ultra class device in 2026? A more efficient SIP on a newer process node, a brighter LTPO display with smarter low refresh modes, improved GNSS accuracy with lower draw, better BL UETO-OTHY radios, and a cell that's either a higher density lithium-ion variant or a semi-solid hybrid, offering safer chemistry and a noticeable, not mythical endurance gain. Think incremental but meaningful an extra day in mixed use for many users. Or the same day and a half with heavier training and AOD on, plus faster, cooler charging, and better longevity after hundreds of cycles. Health features will dictate battery reality more than the electrolyte buzzword. Continuous metrics, nighttime tracking, and on-device AI for anomaly detection all add load. If the Watch 9 Ultra leans deeper into coaching, recovery scores, or advanced safety alerts, Samsung will need to offset with efficiency everywhere else. That's where real-world endurance rises or falls. On the safety front, solid-state promise is real. Fewer leakage risks, better thermal stability. But certification takes time, and early solid semi-solid cells can be sensitive to pressure, bending, and micro cracks. Exactly the kind of stress a wrist-worn device sees daily. Expect Samsung to be conservative rather than flashy here. An Ultra watch must be boringly reliable. How does this stack against Apple Watch Ultra 2 or whatever Apple ships next? Apple is relentlessly efficient in silicon, display management, and software scheduling. If Samsung's edge is battery chemistry, Apple's counterpunch is system efficiency. Users win either way, but don't assume a chemistry headline alone guarantees a blowout victory. It's the entire stack chip, radios, display driver, algorithms, and battery that delivers hours on wrist. Pricing and availability are the final reality checks. If a true next-gen cell shows up early, it'll be expensive and limited. Expect any battery leap to come at a premium or in a flagship tier with tight initial availability. If you see a broad, immediate rollout at mainstream prices, that's a hint the tech is evolutionary, not revolutionary.